G'day. Fans,
Nice.
thrilled to introduce you to Ciaran Ryan,
Hello,
all the way from Scotland. What part of Scotland do you live in? I don't even know.
I live in Edinburgh.
So, Ciaran is a multi-instrumentalist beast of a musician. I've had him described to me by a mutual friend. Ciaran is Banjaxed. Actually, I should mention, I was listening to your album the other day. I was like, where did he find a fiddle player who has the exact same phrasing as he does? And then I looked on the album liner notes. I was like, oh, it's him.
Yeah.
Well,
Beautifully.
Yeah, that's when you have no money and you want to do an album.
So wait, what was your first instrument?
First instrument was fiddle actually. Yeah.
really?
Like doing at school, doing like classical at school, but I didn't keep up the classical thing. I stopped once I did my grades. I kind of stopped playing the fiddle altogether for a few years and then picked up the banjo.
That's cool.
But just because it's tenor banjo, so it's the same fingering, so just sort of transferred it over.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just know it's just mandolin's the same. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I play mando as well, so it's all the same. It just looks more impressive than it is really.
Yeah. What do you love about the banjo?
Maybe what do I hate would be more.
Love, hate.
No, I love. I suppose I love the it's got like quite a good attack to it, so it cuts through, which is probably also a reason why people hate it. But it just there's something quite simple about it. You know, there's like obviously a lot less going on than with like a violin or something, because it's more like one dimensional, I think. But because there's less, you just pluck the note and that's it.
Yeah.
But I just like the sort of directness of it.
Question number 2. So, I'm curious, as a somewhat youngish man living in the 21st century.
You talking about us? Okay.
No, I'm talking about Ciaran. What does folk music mean to you? Why are you drawn to it? I guess I'm asking because it seems almost novelty. I've got friends who, I mostly hang out with folk musicians now, but I've got friends who play video games and go to the pub or whatever, or plays bets on sport. I don't know, whatever. It almost seems like I'm living in a fantasy land, and I wonder, can you describe the appeal of it to you? Why do you play tunes that are 200 years old?
I suppose, well, a big part of it is it's a massive culture here, the folk music thing, the Celtic music, but also as brought up in a family that plays. My dad plays, my sister plays, so it's just kind of ingrained into me, I suppose. When I was younger, my parents used to bring me to a lot of folk festivals when I was too young to play. Even I remember all these sessions in pubs, and at the time people smoked in the bars, and I remember being under the table of the session and just these feet slamming down next to me, and smell of smoke and booze, and it sounds like really bad parenting when I think about it now. I don't know. It's just it's just kind of it feels really natural to me to play it, and I like the sort of honesty of it, I suppose. And the whole session culture as well. It's just for me, it's the best way of spending an evening is just going to a pub and having a few pints with friends and playing tunes together. Such a nice way to do it, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking the other day, it must be so healthy in some ways to grow up in a sort of music tuney culture, because I was thinking, if you're in a cool rock band, right, and you've got your leather jacket on, when do you hang out and jam with someone who's 75?
Yeah.
But you absolutely do.
Yeah, it's all ages.
Yeah, or a 40-year-old woman,
Yeah.
But that totally happens all the time in folk music.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, that's actually something that my wife Barbara picked up on when we first met, because I was basically living off sessions around Edinburgh, which is not a very healthy way to live, but so she would come along to a lot of them, and then she was like, why? And I'd see these people, some of the musicians, I'd pass them in the street, old Davey, 75-year-old, and hey, kid, hey. And she's like, why are all your friends old alcoholics? Come on. Why don't you have any normal friends? Why don't you play football? Like, yeah, no, that is a really nice thing about the scene as well. But yeah, you can still have like, you know, friendships and good musical connections with people who are 3 times your age.
What makes a tune pop for you?
Oh, I don't know, maybe like either like a little riffy thing that catches your ear instantly, or there's some like, you know, like a lot of Scottish tunes, they have like an AB-AC form, so it's like a, you know, like a repetition, something that comes back. But then sometimes there's these Irish tunes that are like the melody is just one big long phrase, which I quite like as well. So they're like in no way catchy, but they're still, yeah. But they're still like an attractive tune in the sense that it's just like such a interesting like story to each part, you know, but nothing actually comes back and repeats. So yeah, I like those sorts of tunes. And then yeah, like there's a lot of sort of modern Scottish tunes that are coming up now, which are quite fun to play and almost kind of like rocky little riffs, you know. Like riffing on like the pentatonic kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, yeah.
What's your favourite native Scottish animal?
Oh.
Yeah, have you ever gone, what's native?
Yeah. The haggis is a good one.
God.
A wild haggis.
They're everywhere around here. There's one there.
Okay, maybe it's time for the game. Is it game time? It's
Okay.
game time. Okay, so would you mind getting out your banjo? I've always wanted to play this game with someone, and I never have, so I'm really grateful you give me the opportunity. Sorry, I'm bigging it up a lot, aren't I? So what I've done is, I've made a backing track for Drowsy Maggie. The first run through is just in 4/4, but then every time we get rid of 1/8 note. And so the second repetition is in 7/8. The third repetition is in 6/8, and then 5/8, and then 4/8.
Okay.
And basically, I'd love to see if you can just play until it falls apart.
Here we go.
Hi, Ciaran. We're doing Drowsy Maggie in 4/4. Nothing unusual there. 1, 2, and here we go. And... Well done. Okay, now we're getting rid of 1/8 note, and we're going to 7/8. Dun dun dakata dun dun dakata. Note still, and we're down to 6/8, so it's jig time. 1 and a 2 and a here we go. Oh, he's unstoppable. So here we go. Dum dakata dum dakata. Okay, let's get rid of one more 8 note. We're down to 4/8, I guess, which is just going to sound like double time madness, I guess. Let's see if it falls apart. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2.
That was amazing.
That was so much better than I thought that was going to go. Is there anything you'd like to tell our fans? Is there anything you'd like them to know?
I don't know. I suppose things that are happening are got some gigs next year, Celtic Connections, and doing a new album probably in February.
Oh, awesome!
Whoa. Okay. Well, would you like to give us a traditional Scottish farewell?
Okay. Lang may your lum reek,
Ooh, beautiful. What does that mean?
which so long may your lum reek, your chimney reek is like smoke. So long may your chimney smoke.
Oh, that's sweet. Environmentally destructive.